just to have that. Is she is she American or Palestinian? Just Celia is such a
American.
American name.
American. Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's lived there for a really long time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
she's been, yeah, she'll be good to meet, definitely. Definitely.
cool.
I'm talking to my friend Basil right now, and he says there's a problem with the team. It's not like
Oh.
before. It's funny, he calls it a war. Some people call it a war, and some people call it a conflict. I would call it like a slaughter. But anyway, he says the team's not the same. Something's happened, and there's a problem with living situations of the kids. You know, the kids are all like 12 years old. So I imagine there's probably family living conditions are different now. I'm not quite sure what he means. I asked him, but I imagine things in Bethlehem won't be like how they were before.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been to Bethlehem City only a couple times, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have no idea.
What I
Are they from
understand is
Ida?
no, no, no. Well, I think they're a Christian community, so the IDA is more like something else, and all the different communities. There's a UN team as well that are in IDA, but
Mm.
no, I think they're actually from the Christian community. I might be wrong. What do you think?
Okay, so like they're from like Bet Sahar. Okay.
Yeah, maybe or around
What,
there.
the
But
boys' team?
yeah,
Salesian, yeah.
Salesian is like that's they're named after like a Catholic priest,
A
Salesian.
convent or something. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mm,
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Salesian was this priest with the long beard.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's maybe Italian. Not
Maybe
sure.
sounds Italian.
What do you say? Sorry.
Just it sounds Italian.
Yeah,
Mm.
Cilician. Yeah, I think they're Italian, but he's Greek Orthodox. So, and I know that
Okay. Yeah.
they've got some representatives at
Mm-hmm.
this Christ at the checkpoint, right? Haven't
Mm,
they? No.
They probably will. Yeah.
mm.
But is it more like organized, but from the evangelical side?
Yeah, it is more, it is an evangelical, it's a conference for evangelicals, but
Right.
it's about Christian witness. So I imagine they'll have like like because it's led by Lutherans, they're not evangelical. That's what I find a little bit confusing, but
Rebecca, could you explain what
yeah.
evangelical means? Because I don't even know what that means. I'm Catholic. I was brought up Catholic in Glasgow.
Mhm,
And so I was quite strict Catholic. I would go to
mhm,
confession. I believed in the Virgin Mary, and I was
mhm,
quite strict. I mean, I would go to mass every day, and
mhm. Oh
I
wow.
would take the communion. I've been confirmed,
Mhm.
baptized, all that. Um,
Yeah.
what is the
Like
difference?
yeah.
Are you
Evangelical can mean,
evangelical? Yeah.
yeah, it can mean
Are
it,
you
I mean
evangelical?
Protestant. I mean, it was growing up, but I like a little bit of everything now. So,
Yeah, we're
Because
like
um,
eclectic.
Lola doesn't understand it. In Scotland and Glasgow, we wouldn't go to the same school. It was separate. It was like singing.
yeah,
So you would go to the Protestant school, and I would go to the Catholic school, and the kids would fight each other. That's how it was. That's
yeah,
hard.
it's a bit, yeah. I mean, my mom's from Northern Ireland, so she knows all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, she grew up outside of Belfast, so she wasn't super affected by it, but like, she went to what did she go to? I think she went to a Protestant school, but she had my grandfather who was an Irish Unionist loyalist
Oh.
and then my grandmother is a French Catholic, so and they're divorced now, so I should tell you. Um, but it, yeah, it's like she would have to get off the train for like bomb scares and stuff, and she said one times Catholic boys threw rocks at her, but she didn't understand why. She was just like like she didn't have an either identity because they weren't religious in their house, so she just was like, why are they
Mm.
throwing stuff at? Like she didn't understand until later why they threw stuff at her, but
Ethnic
uh,
cleansing again.
yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
Brit,
that
the
was the
Brit.
Catholic boys throwing rocks at her, and I'm like, you're the sub, like,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, what
And
was I gonna
even,
say? Oh yeah, so
even
evangelical,
evangelical,
they're
yeah.
basically, yeah, they're
Mm.
basically Protestants.
But they really focus on
But
the Bible. They're really obsessed with the Bible. Like evangelical is like really focused on the word. Like this is the word of God. Like this is the word of God. But then obviously like
Mm.
evangelical
yeah,
got like a very, very, very bad rap, like in America with all the crazies, like all the crazy
Ah.
evangelical
the
Christians.
ones who support Trump are evangelicals.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
there's a Judeo-Christian thing that all the government are saying it's okay to basically do what they're doing, and they
Yeah,
have
so evangelicals believe,
yeah.
a lot of evangelicals, not the ones I was raised with, but a lot of evangelicals believe that because of their interpretation of Revelations, it's like whereas I would take Revelations as, a historical, it already happened, or it's about confronting empire, any empire that you see, they take it as a literal future thing that's going to happen. And they would say, all the Jews need to return to Israel so that Jesus will come back. It'll trigger the second coming. So they're
That's
trying to manifest the second coming. So they will support Israel. They can't separate the Israel of the Bible
but
from
what
the
about
nation.
the commandments? What about the 10 Commandments? Like you shall not kill, covet. I mean,
Yeah, that kind of that.
and they're breaking them all.
Yeah. So like yesterday, I saw this girl. So do you know the Messianic Jewish community?
I
They're
do
Jews
not.
who believe in Jesus. They're Jews who believe in Jesus. They're basically evangelicals with Jewish heritage, but they wouldn't call themselves that. They're like, no, we're real Jews because we believe in Jesus. We believe in the completed Judaism. But I'm like, you guys are American evangelical culturally. And so they're very conservative, like Trumpy Americans. And this girl that I know, she posted an article she wrote for a Zionist newspaper saying, Sodom and Gomorrah helps me deal with my guilt about Gaza. And I was like, please don't tell me
Oh
this
my
is what I'm
God.
going to think. So you can imagine, she said, because what's happening in Gaza is the same thing that happened in so they take all the Bible very literally. It happened
Mhm.
exactly as it said. There's no historical nuance or context, and everything's read through the lens of how I read it is how it must have been. So they don't care about historical context at all. And yeah, she wrote an entire article saying how she felt so sick to her stomach seeing a little orphaned boy in Gaza. Why is he being punished for the actions of Hamas? Which I'm like, that's the Spirit, Holy Spirit telling you something. That's the Holy Spirit telling you something. Maybe stop supporting the IDF. But she was like, but then I
Yeah.
thought about Sodom and Gomorrah, and God can punish whole communities for the actions of its leader. And I was like,
Wait. Well, can you? I don't. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Can you simplify it into a few sentences? Because I don't know.
oh yeah, so basically there was an ancient town in Israel, and Abraham's cousin went to live there.
Uh-huh.
And it was how ancient Bible stories, they say everyone was evil in the town,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, so it was basically a bunch people use it to say that God punished it because of homosexuality, because there was a bunch of rapists basically that wanted to harm his family and the man in his family. And so God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for the actions of a mob. Whereas if you know ancient Semitic literature, to say we destroyed every last man, woman, and child was a very common saying throughout the ancient Middle East. That's how you basically said we defeated our enemies. Like it didn't literally mean everyone died. It was propaganda. Like, because like the Assyrians like to say we destroyed every last Jewish man, woman, and child. Well, that's not true because we have Jews today. Um, so they would say all that stuff. But evangelicals take it very seriously, literally. And so they believe God literally killed every last man, woman, and child because the leaders were bad people. So
My
this
God.
woman,
Doesn't that story come up in the Bible? It repeats itself, the story of Moses. Even when Jesus was a kid, weren't they killing all the kids in the village? And Jesus had to
yeah,
leave.
there was the slaughter of the Herod killed the children of Bethlehem, the little boys in Bethlehem, to make sure that there was that basically there would, because the wise men went to Herod and said, "Oh, we've met the King of the Jews," speaking about Jesus, and so Herod thought there was going to be an uprising, and so he killed all the little boys that could have possibly, like, that he thought could have been Jesus. Um,
God.
but Sodom and Gomorrah is seen by evangelicals as a good thing. Like it was
Mhm.
okay that God did that. And if you feel uncomfortable about that, that's your problem, not God. So she was writing as if to be like feeling compassion for these kids is not the right thing to be feeling, because, well, God's okay with it because he destroyed the evil communities that were against ancient Israel, so therefore God is destroying. And if kids get caught in the crosshairs, well, that's, she wasn't saying it was okay, but she was real close to. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
so that's the kind of thing with like, it's like this group that I'm going to work with, the Telos group, they're targeting the evangelical community to be like, there's different ways to read these stories, and the compassion you feel for Israelis and for Palestinians is a good thing. Compassion is not a finite resource, it's infinite. You can keep feeling compassion and you don't need to choose a side. You can just be for humans. So that's what I like about it. Yeah. So that made me feel sick for the rest of the day.
The humanity
sorry?
seems to have gone, you know. This is why there is a lot of people turning to spirituality, because it seems that how can people say it's okay, you know, it's inhumane, and
Yeah.
they're dehumanized. The Palestinians have been dehumanized for so long.
Yeah.
They think
Yeah.
they're not even, they think they're savages. But then
And I think that's like, this girl wasn't saying that, but she was saying it without saying it, of like, they're not capable of being a good society.
they're like
Yeah.
less than human, they're less than human, so it's okay.
Yeah, and like I said, she wasn't saying that. What she was saying was, I feel so sad for the kids in Gaza, but and I'm like, Israelis are literally the only ones who can change what's happening. They're the only ones people will listen to. If they
Yeah,
come
the
out and
kids,
say we are against this, people listen to them. Like if we go out in the streets and say we're against this, Israeli government goes, well, you're anti-Semitic. So, like, and so I just, anyway, I've had conversations with her
When you
before
do
where I was
read the
like,
Bible, like, sorry, this is kind of a twist thing, but you read the Bible and it's challenging to read over and over again. Like, the people of Israel, people like it is like the chosen people of Israel. And so I remember like hearing Mentor Isaac like talk about this and just how much he had to wrestle with like the understanding of like Israel and what like Israel as God's people and what that means. Like, can you say something about that? Because like how you
I
interpret
mean,
that? Because it's like all of God's people are like Israel, right?
yeah. I mean, for me, I think the Jewish people were the first people to recognize God's for us, instead of God is just something out there to be worshipped and sacrificed to, which I mean, they did sacrifice. I think they were, to me, it seems like they were the first people to recognize, yeah, God is with you, as opposed to out there somewhere, some big Zeus-like character that, rains down punishment and ward and stuff. And I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes the way Manther Isaac says things, I'm like, no messianic, no evangelical is going to read your book and agree with you, because they're going to see those words and they're going to be like, closing it. Like, you know, but that's one of the questions I have at the conference that I want to ask is, how do we just get people to listen when they'll hear one word, like they'll hear the word Palestinian and they'll go, no, there's no such thing. They're Arabs,
but
and like, how do you get people to even start listening?
with conversation, dialogue, you know, and
Yeah.
education, you know,
Yeah. But it's like they won't even listen to the conversation. Like, I've had conversations with people in the evangelical and messianic community in Israel, and you say one little thing wrong, and they just shut down completely. Like, not wrong, sorry. Like, you say the word Palestinian instead of Arab, and they go, there's no such thing as Palestinians, you are against the state of, and you're just like, and it's, the conversation's done. You can't, they're not listening anymore. Like, but then at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to start using the word Arab just because you can't handle it. Like, it's just.
It's a good point, actually. You're right. If you say Palestinian, they don't even believe it's a play. You have to. They call it Arabs, right? And they say they're from Jordan or Syria, right?
Yeah, and it's like, you all have the same. It was quite funny because when I was at Hebrew University, is about a quarter Israeli, a quarter international, and half Palestinian. And one day we were all talking about our DNA tests that like, everyone's taking a DNA test these days. And all the Palestinians had at least one Jewish grandparent in their DNA, like genetically Jewish grandparent. And the Israelis were like, that's so interesting. How do you, and I'm like, no, sorry, not the Israelis. The Christians, the evangelical Christians were like, but you guys are from Ishmael. How can you be from, and I was like, oh my God, that's a metaphor. Like,
Yeah.
like to me, you know, and they're like, no, but you're from Ishmael. You're not from the same people. And I'm like, no, but they are. Like the Palestinians are the Jews that didn't leave. Like,
and can we talk about Jesus as Palestinian Jew and like how he like reconciles the two together? Like, I mean, because I said that like to someone, a Christian friend, and I was like, you know, Jesus is Palestinian Jew. And so he reconciles the two identities, like they're all held in his body. Like, and that's the beautiful thing about it. And she was like, and she was just like, I don't think he was. Like, I don't think he is. And she just, she couldn't see it. And I was like,
yeah,
that's
because
right,
they so
right?
dehumanized Palestinians, and there's, you know, that it's quite funny. Like one of my friends is an evangelical. She was like, I really have trouble saying the word. And she was being honest and genuine with me. So I really appreciated it. And she's like, because I grew up super, you know, is pro-Israel. She's like, I have trouble even using the word Palestine. She's like, because it's not the biblical name for it. And I had to show her in history books from our university, from the Israeli university. I'm like, the first words used to describe it was like Palestinia, Philistine. Like, I'm like, 10 different words were used to describe the land of Israel when it was being called Israel. So it's like there's no one true name for it. It has so many different names all at the same time. But
Scotland's
people
called
just can't.
Alpha. Scotland was got so many
Exactly.
names before the English changed the name or the language
Exactly.
disappeared.
Pickland, yeah. I
It's not
know.
really
And it's like,
important.
Sorry, my
It's an
phone,
argument.
my thing's dying. I got to change.
Yeah, the
Okay.
argument's not this is something that our friend said in Bethlehem. They don't want to be it's not a discussion. The discussion just gives, the more we discuss all the things, then the more time they have to carry out their mission, which is
exactly.
basically,
Exactly.
the mission is like this disgusting ethnic
Yeah.
cleansing, or
Yeah.
this twisting of the book, you know, they've twisted
Yeah.
it to, it's beyond religion and it's beyond politics. It's something quite sinister. It makes me, when I think about it, I get a little bit, it seems like some kind of sinister thing. It's beyond
Yeah.
religion.
I mean, every society, I think, needs a scapegoat. You know, for much of history, the Jews were
Yeah,
used as a scapegoat, and now
Mhm.
Israel's using the Palestinians as a scapegoat for all their problems. You know, like Netanyahu. You know, he was about to be ousted from power, and then October 7th happened, and he's just dragging this war out so that he can stay in power.
You could say the
Which,
same about the Arab countries that have been very disappointing, and Egypt, Lebanon, Iran, they've all been using the Palestinians as well.
yeah,
So everybody's using them on both sides,
exactly.
and they're just like
Yeah, yeah.
statistics, really. Not, and I think the Arab governments are just as much to blame as the Western
I
ones.
know. Yeah, they're the scapegoat for the world now. Of everyone's like they're just being used.
It's so good that you're going there. I really admire it, and that's what we need. People have to go and see it for themselves because no
Yeah,
one gets it.
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
It's well, I
So
really admire that you're going there and that you're strong and you're not afraid.
I mean,
Because
Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous, like, but it's more social anxiety than um other stuff. But it's yeah, I mean, I've been before, and I don't know. I just really want, before I start doing this work at the Telos group, I just want to see for myself, like, because you know you can hear it, but it's another thing to. I have seen a lot of it, but and I've always wanted to go to this Christ at the Checkpoint thing anyway, so it just happened to work out for me that I could go. So
if you
yeah.
could do something for me, it would be like just sit in Manger Square and
Mm-hmm.
press record on the camera and just point it at the guys selling the corn.
Okay.
Coffee guys, you know the coffee guys selling the corn?
Yeah,
The,
yeah, yeah.
and there's, I mean, they're fascinating and they're beautiful. You should talk to them, they're really nice guys. They're just kids like
Yeah.
12, 13, 14, and just
Yeah.
you have to just sit down. And I don't know if you drink coffee, but the corn's great. It's like
Yeah.
just the
Do you
corn.
remember we sat at the
Corn
corner
is so
cafe and that's
good.
yeah. Do you remember we sat at that cafe on the corner of Manger Square? And
Yeah,
then that was like, oh, we'll find you a place to stay.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
That happened. I
Yeah.
remember that literally. Yeah, when we dragged like my suitcase like the whole way from the oh my gosh, and then yeah, crazy.
We were just dragging your suitcase around.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we went to the milk grotto, didn't we? And we went to the milk grotto back there.
oh yeah, we're just dragging your suitcase behind you.
Milk grotto is
Yeah.
so beautiful and great. I know. I wonder if maybe you
Yeah.
could take some footage at like Nativity Church or I don't know. Let's see.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, I could absolutely do that. Yeah. It's just the yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, don't
There is
worry.
a
We're taking
there
like
is a manifesto. The Christ at the checkpoint. They have a manifesto. Did you read it? There's 12 points.
Hmm.
One
I
of
don't
them
remember
was
what the points are, but yeah.
one of them was equal rights, which for everyone, which I thought was really good, like a socialist thing.
Yeah.
That was one of the
Yeah.
points. But
I
they
know
mentioned something I didn't understand. It was a messianic believers. I don't know what that. Could you tell me what that is?
I
Messianic
thought she was just
believers.
explaining just then. But you
yeah,
said
the Jews that believe in Jesus who are very the Jews that believe in Jesus, but who are very
Really?
yeah, they're very culturally like American
yeah, it's
evangelicals.
weird.
I don't know how to
That's
explain until you meet them. Like when you just speak to them, it's like speaking to American evangelicals, but then they're ethnically Jewish, and so they believe they're the real, like they're the completed Jew,
But I
so
basically.
they're
had a
like
close,
Rangers
close
And the
fans.
Jews don't
friend,
like
like
them.
I had a close Messianic Jewish friend, like close Messianic friend, and like I really, really liked her. But I've been not scared, but I should have. I wouldn't. I sort of said I'm praying for you and I'm thinking of you when it first happened, but I haven't been able to go any further in conversation, and I wish I had. But it's like, yeah, I'm just frightened to
They
know what
really
to
double
say.
down.
So
Like
hard.
they're very pro. They're extremely pro-Israel.
Hmm.
They, will say the word Arab instead of Palestinian. And they, very anti-gay, very traditional gender roles. But like women can wear pants, so like that's fine. And but they're like you go to one of their worship
But
services, and it's
hello.
just like being
Oh.
oh no no hello and it's very much like being in a toxic American church but in
Whoa,
Hebrew and
Mm.
like
that
I mean
sounds.
they're good, like, they're nice people but they're very brainwashed like a lot of Trump evangelicals are
Yeah.
and
I'm afraid to say that we're all under some kind of mind control experiment right now. I don't want to sound like a freakin', but I've been researching
no
this
but
the past few weeks, and
yeah
there are some strange mind control weapons that have been. America has been researching them since the 70s, and they're quite
mm,
sophisticated now. And besides just using WhatsApp to zap people, there is some strange mind control going on, and like you say about. I think we all have to be really careful and protect ourselves just with the
I
phone and
mean it's
everything.
this the social media algorithms just feed you
Mm.
whatever you agree with or kind of agree with or like I have had to like go into my Instagram and like I follow a lot of people I don't agree with so that I see different opinions
Mhm.
because otherwise I was just like I'm just getting enraged by everything and I'm like that's yeah I'm like that's because like so if you're a messianic Jew in Israel all you're going to see is pro-Israel pro-IDF look how much they're feeding the people in Gaza when it's a
Yeah.
state to us it's obviously a staged photo but they're never going to see because of their algorithm
No,
the
Lola
other side
turned
of it
off, and
yeah
I had one day off it, but I mean everything. I mean even the phone, and it's amazing. Just one day, I could only do. I thought you can. One day it was such a nice day, but
mm,
everyone's like even my son. I've got a 12-year-old. He's 11, and he just wants to be on the screen all the time. But I think
yeah
that's how you educate people and teach people, and maybe you should be discussing that at the meeting. Like, how do we get everybody off the screens and
Yeah.
like remember like what's important, like love and like
Yeah. You need to get the
sharing.
governments to outlaw algorithms, I think. I think algorithms need to go.
Well, I think it's the screen.
Yeah.
Everybody's like
And also the
that,
screen's
you know?
addicting, yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if I talk about that consumption of how we've consumed this like genocide, you know, it's just been horrific, like like the images and the way that we've received them and the information. It's just been like, I mean, it's never happened before in history, I guess. It's like,
I mean, it's made me have to turn off a part of myself because I just like I couldn't handle seeing all the crushed children. I could not I can't handle it. Like, and just like there's no trigger warnings, there's no nothing, and it's just suddenly
it's unbearable. It's completely unbearable.
yeah.
and then you feel bad because you don't feel anything when you like for me, I don't feel anything when I'm just like you're just stuck. Like
I have to watch it. I have to see what's happening. I mean, it's they estimate it's been 40,000 people, but they say this is a low estimation, and it will take 80 years to rebuild Gaza.
yeah. I mean, I think Qatar and Saudi and stuff, if they pour in money, they could do it quick, but will they? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this price at the
When are you
checkpoint.
leaving? When are you going?
The 13th of May.
Okay. Oh, you've got a few weeks.
No,
Yeah,
what? It's like
1
days,
week. Yeah.
days. Just a few
Soon.
days. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's so soon. So yeah. Yeah, there's other things I was gonna say, but yeah, I need to digest everything and then like
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can
We'll
talk
definitely
again.
do that.
I would like to talk to you when you're there, if that would be
Hi.
possible.
Yeah, we can talk when I'm there. Yeah, certainly.
And
Yeah.
see how your day goes, you know, and also see how it goes getting in there and how different it is. I imagine and then even at night, I think nighttime is difficult. I think raids at nighttime.
Raids at night in Bethlehem, I think.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to ask them if I can stay in the college for the the 3 nights that it's on.
I researched it and it said it's safe. The security is safe, and yeah, they said that people would be sleeping in the university.
Yeah, I'm staying with a friend because when I looked at the prices of staying at the university, I was like, oh my God. But yeah. But I might just ask them if I can get a student rate, even though I'm not a student. I don't know. Let's see what they say. Yeah.
No, but if we talk to a Celia lady, like she might be able to help with that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I will obviously give. I'm like, can I help cook meals or something for the 3 nights or something? But yeah. Anyway, I will see how it goes. Well, when I originally looked at it, it's when I thought they were posting the conference is going to be like 8 days long or something, and you know, if you show the price for 8 nights, that's like that's a lot compared to 4 nights. But anyway, yeah, we can see.
Do they have services where all the different denominations come together and they have like
quite often they do. Yeah, they quite often do. Yeah.
So some chanting, some worship music. Like, yeah, what?
It's like at Tantor where I stay. That's where I was staying when I met Lola. Was at remember Tantor? How it's called the Ecumenical. Do you know Tantor?
No, he doesn't.
I don't. When was that?
It's right outside Bethlehem, right outside the 300 checkpoint, and they're an ecumenical. Pardon?
Was that 1 year ago or?
Yeah.
When did you meet?
Yeah, about a year.
No, 2
year and a half.
Yeah, September, not like the September we went to Bethlehem, the September before we met.
Savvy too. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, it's an ecumenical Christian center, and they're all about peace and justice, but like there's Israelis and Palestinians who work there, and you know, like it's really anyway. It was a cool place. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, if you look up Tantor, it's really cool.
Yeah, and there was all when we went there was all the different like, yeah, that conference. There was all the different representatives from different, wasn't there? And there was
yeah,
the guys that we loved.
Why they were there? But
who do we love? The Cough.
Oh, was the 50th? Yes, it was the 50th anniversary, and it's like the Copts, the Anglicans, the Armenians, the Greeks, the Greek Catholics, the
Hmm.
everybody was there. That was really cool, wasn't it?
What
All
are,
the other black robes floating around.
what are cops? Cops?
Egyptian
Hmm.
Christians.
Wow.
Yeah,
Egyptian Christians.
And that's
yeah,
something that we all want to do, is go to Egypt and see the churches
yeah.
in Egypt. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out.
When do you have you been going to the Holy Land for like more than 20 years then?
Since 2018. 2018, I did a study
2018.
abroad program there, which is why I'm quite sad that a lot of these universities are now canceling their Israel study abroad programs, because I wouldn't have the connection I have with the Holy Land or with Palestinians or Palestinian liberation if I didn't do that. Like, Hebrew University is very pro-Israel, very pro-Palestinian, pro. A lot of my professors were Israeli but anti-occupation activists even, and so it's a bit sad that these protests have no nuance to them and that they can't. I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, imagining if I was in university and didn't get to go on my Israel study abroad program, that I wouldn't know the things I know now or the people I know now or
Imagine you were like a kid in Gaza. I mean, I
I
know
know.
it's it's there's there's no option right now but to boycott and divest all investment in Israel. You can't allow them to continue. They won't listen to the government. You have to stop. They have to stop. You know how any small thing that will do do something to make them stop.
Mhm.
They have
Yeah, I
to
guess
try
that's
it
true.
for
Yeah.
peace and love, right?
Yeah.
No? What do you think,
Yeah.
Laura?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it was it
Boycotts
crashed
work.
me out of the Zionism bubble. I would have probably, I mean, I really thought about it before, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I agree with that as well. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Zionism is the problem, and it's not
Tell
just
Yeah.
me what you said about.
Judaism. That, but it's Zionism is a completely different thing. It's nothing to do with Judaism.
I mean, I mean, for me, I think there's the Zionism that, I know quite a lot of anti-occupation Zionists, and for them, Zionism just means Jews have a right to live in Israel, not at the expense of Palestinians
Wait,
at all.
anti-occupation Zionist? I've never heard that.
Yeah,
I've never heard
yeah,
that. That's wild.
yeah. No, I know quite a lot of them that
Okay.
they're against occupation, but they believe, they're Israelis and they believe, yes, we have a
Are
right
they
to live
for
here.
apartheid?
No, no, they're anti-apartheid, of course. Yeah,
Anti-apartheid, anti-occupation. So yeah, just like live together equally, equal rights for everybody,
yeah,
right? And it
yeah,
doesn't matter what the land's called. It doesn't matter.
exactly. Yeah,
You can call it whatever you like, but you don't kill people and don't
exactly. Yeah,
kill
exactly.
people
Yeah, yeah.
and give everyone a passport and let everybody move
Hmm.
freely.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Zionists that think
yeah,
that. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, Zionism, you say it to different people, and it means so many different things to so many different people. And for
Mhm.
a lot of people I met there, it simply meant Jews get to live in the land of Israel, but not at the expense of Palestinians, not with apartheid, not with the horrendous occupation, not with the military, not with any of that stuff. It's just Jews get to live in Israel, and
Yeah, all these terms get hijacked, like, and then they
exactly,
it doesn't. Then they don't mean. I mean, words.
Yeah.
exactly.
Intifada just means it's nothing violent about intifada. It means uprising. You know, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
it doesn't
But
mean
then when you say
anything
it to
bad.
and then you say it to an Israeli, and they go, "Well, my uncle was killed in a bus bombing during the Intifada, so I'm never not going to hear Intifada as
Mm.
Yeah.
some, like, as something that,
Well, as
yeah."
soon
So
as you say Palestine, they think even the mind thinks terrorist. It's a form of brainwashing, like you say. It's a form of
exactly,
mind
yeah,
control, and it's everybody's
yeah. It's like,
conditioned to think
yeah,
what the media has been wrong for the
yeah,
media, and we can see the media is controlled by drug drug companies or whoever. I don't know, these dark forces behind it. The government's controlled by military.
anger makes them money, makes them more people watch, more ads, more money.
And I think that's what this is
Yeah.
about. It's nothing about religion, or it's about some kind of control, some kind of financial,
All
sinister
about money in the end.
control.
Yeah.
It's that's why we need God and the spirituality to, because that's all we've got to fight it with, you know.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
and that's why the faith is so important, I think.
Yeah.
Am I ranting a little bit?
No,
No,
it's good.
no, it's good. Yeah. And just about interpretation, I think, because yeah, I've had dreams recently about like just misunderstanding of like passages in the Bible. Like it's just mad that people, yeah, the misinterpretation is just so like strong, and it's so important to like, you know how, but just interpret correctly. I know there's so much like, yeah, it's very personal, but that is like, I don't know. I've had dreams where I'm like, how do people not see that this is what the Bible is talking about? And so
Mhm.
any kind of film that we would make from the conference, I think I would love to like somehow, that would be my hope, that there would be
Oh,
like some
yes.
text, some biblical text that we could actually show like the real like core meaning of what these words say and
Yeah.
how they've been misinterpreted. And yeah.
And the guy, his name's Munter, right? He's great. I've
Mhm.
seen him. He's
Mm.
really great. Is he a friend of yours or
No, I've
not?
never met him, no, but I know
Oh, cool.
Daoud, who runs the Tent of Nations farm, is in his congregation. So, yeah,
Okay.
I know
Another good
someone
thing
near
would,
him.
another great thing would be any like audio of music recording. I just want to write that down. Like if
Mm.
there's like worship music or like chanting or like anything, like just like even on
Oh,
your
yes.
phone, like just a voice
Yeah.
note, like
Yeah.
Hey,
music.
and Rebecca, you should go if you get the chance and you're feeling.
Mhm.
You should definitely go into the mosque in Manchester Square. It's beautiful, and
Oh, yes.
they're so welcoming.
Oh, I love the call to prayer, isn't it? So,
Go inside and take
yeah.
it. Just go in and have. They're such nice. They're so nice.
Oh,
I mean,
lovely. Good.
I,
Yeah.
I, we had this because we filmed inside the Nativity Church, and then we filmed inside the mosque, and it was
Mhm.
just, I mean, they're both great. I
Yeah.
love them both, but the atmosphere is kind of completely different, you know.
Interesting. Oh,
One
yeah, it'll
great
be
thing about the
interesting. Yeah.
mosque was that yeah, people could just sit and just sitting and studying and reading. And I was like, oh, it would be so nice to just be able to like sit on the floor in the church and read the Bible. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is gonna cut out, but this seems like a
Yep.
good place to, yeah, so it sounds good. So we can digest, come back, see what,
Yeah, we'll talk in a few days.
good. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, nice to speak to y'all.
You too. Bye.
Ciao,
Nice to,
Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
bye. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.